Welcome to another episode of Daydreamer. Hurry up and join your friends in the abyss. Let's take a look at today's ghost story. Today's story takes place in a place called Black Forest. Everyone knows that no one is allowed to enter this place because it's an ominous place. The reason why it's ominous is because there is a river in the back of the mountain. Anyone who touches the water of the river will be possessed by ghosts. They will never rest until they die. They can only go out on the 15th day of every month. Please come to the big house to do the ritual. Pick up the ghosts who don't want to leave the river. But the big house is also in trouble. Dog, why is the haze so heavy? Who is in the water? 15 years ago, a woman committed suicide with the truth in this river. Dao immediately found the direction of the ghost. But when a little brother jumped into the water, nothing happened. The next second, the little brother was dragged into the water by the ghost. Another little brother went down to save him. In the end, both of them drowned in the river because the ghost was too scary. The big house on the boat is right here. The ghost in the river immediately floated up. I don't want to die. Since he is dead, he can't stay in the world. If he continues to stay in the world, his descendants will be implicated. Do promise to do the ritual for the ghost. After his patience, the ghost listened to him. Do was also killed here. One day after many years, a man named Gudin disappeared for no reason. The police came to investigate. Gudon's wife was also hanged to death in the house. The mountain was scared to death. This is the ghost hanging in the river. When the mountain was being inspected, a little magician came at this time. Let's call him Laxiba. He immediately felt something was wrong because there was a ghost next to him. White ghost night vision. Everyone was scared to death. The door was closed automatically. The dead woman was also alive. After a lot of manipulation, the ghost was finally subdued. Where did his man Gudin go? A villager gave a description to the mountain. On the day Gudin disappeared, the villagers saw him. But Gudin looked extremely strange. The villagers went to follow Gudin. Unexpectedly, he came to a graveyard. This man didn't sleep in the middle of the night. Gudin actually came to the graveyard to wander. The villagers followed Gudin behind. At this time, a group of little cuties appeared around him. Gudin didn't seem to be afraid. But the next second, he was scared to death and ran away. At this time, Gudin was immediately hung in the air. The villagers were scared to death. A pair of ghosts were watching here. I asked if this scene was scary. The villagers told the police. The mountain didn't believe these ghosts. However, the next second, Gudon's body appeared by the river again. Several villagers found it. But no one dared to go down the river to look for it. The mountain had to go by itself. Don't be scared, detective. This river is a broken river. 15 years ago, a widow wore a red dress and committed suicide in the river. But the detective didn't know that the red dress was haunted. The widow's body didn't even show up. He didn't listen to the villagers. He still went down the river as usual. The villagers were blaming the mountain. If he went down the river, he would attract the ghosts. The mountain just went down the river. His eyes began to blur. A little cutie appeared next to him. But he looked again. The little cutie was gone again. He quickly picked up the body. At this time, the mountain's eyes began to blur again. He looked at the side. Only the mountain could see the ghost. The villagers couldn't see it. He spat at the female ghost. It didn't work. The female ghost strangled him to death. The mountain was scared to pee. The next second, he was strangling himself. There was no ghost at all. The ghost in the river was gone. It was strange. Only the mountain could see him. The village chief called the priest Laxi to perform magic. Laxi shook the bell a few times. The mountain woke up immediately. But he still didn't believe the ghost. He wanted to take the body back to the Gudan's house for autopsy. I don't believe it. I'm afraid of death. I'm afraid of death. I want to check the body. When the mountain was checking the body alone, this man was so scared that he wanted to leave the village. If you don't leave now, the whole family will die here. Speaking of Cow of the game, let's gather together again and chase them. But the strange thing is that this time they didn't attack them, but dragged their boat ashore again. Then the ants opened a path and led them to a secret cave. Here they saw a cube similar to a server. The female doctor immediately determined that these ants must have been controlled by this server. Soon, the ants were crawling all over the cave, and the organization gathered together into some glowing patterns to try to communicate with humans. Only then did the experts understand that the ants wanted to occupy the entire island, And the purpose of the ants coming here was to negotiate with them and capture the little girl as a bargaining chip for the island's control. When the two returned to the camp, they told the military everything they saw. The experts thought that force could not eliminate them at all and had to send people to negotiate further. The military said that negotiating with the ants was simply unreasonable. Just when the two sides were at a loss for words, the former old doctor suddenly broke in to interrupt their conversation. He said he had a way to negotiate with the ants. Due to the old doctor's high prestige, the military had no choice but to agree to this decision. The next day, he and the big man came to the ant cave again. Seeing humans coming again, the little girl was also released. Soon, the ants gathered together into various glowing patterns and began to negotiate with humans. The big man soon understood what they wanted to negotiate and communicated with them through drawing patterns. At this time, the ant in the old doctor's ear kept interfering with his brain nerves. He couldn't bear to let everyone end the negotiation immediately. It turned out that he had prepared for this. He directly shone a time bomb on his chest, ready to die with them. The threatened ants quickly made a counterattack and controlled them. In the next second, countless ants gathered together into a huge ant standing in front of them. The female professor hurriedly threw the high-density information beam at the ants. Under the interference of the information beam, the big ant was instantly eliminated. The two escaped with the little girl. While the old doctor was lying on the ground, he was tortured by the ants. The ants in his ears triggered his brain nerves again. This made him recover his mind quickly. The ants gathered together again, and a bigger ant appeared in front of him. Seeing his companion leaving the cave, the old doctor was also sad. As the explosion sounded, the old doctor and the ants flew away together. After the explosion, an alien creature that looked like a cockroach quickly escaped from the cave. It turned out that all this was caused by the aliens. After the incident, the residents on the island regained peace again.